Hello, picture book writers. I'm Pam Calvert, and welcome to another episode of Picture Book University. Cold fact, most agents don't want to represent author-only picture book writers. The reason why agents don't want to represent author-only writers is because we have to share the 25% that a publisher will give to us with the illustrator. So that means we only get 12.5% royalty on each picture book, and the agent only gets 15% of that. So 15% of not very much is not very much. It takes the same amount of time for them to go over contracts and things like this with one picture book writer. They'll make double the amount of money. It's just mathematics, and that's the reason why they don't really want us. I really don't like that trend because all that says is that they're going for the money and not going for the art. There are agents out there that will take on author-only picture book writers, but they are very rare. So this is not very good news, right? If you are not an illustrator. But there are some things that you can do, and you could still get an agent, and you could still get published. And I'm going to go over those with you. Number one, you need to write something longer. Like you need a middle grade novel, maybe a chapter book, although those are kind of hard sells. But a middle grade novel for sure, or a YA will help you get an agent. And then they might want to take you on and sell your picture book. I actually got both of my agents with longer work, but they didn't accept me because I was a middle grade novelist or a young adult novelist. They accepted me because I didn't just have picture books and I had other work that they could sell. And that's something you really, really need to think about when you are venturing into picture books, because it is very hard wall to climb over to get one just by being an unpublished author-only picture book writer. Number two, do your research. Stay up to date on agents that actually do accept author-only picture book writers. There are a lot out there, and they are on Twitter, and you can look at their hashtag MSWLs, their manuscript wish lists, and you can see if they do take author-only picture book writers. So I wouldn't clog the emailosphere with your queries, and if it's just going to go on deaf ears, you need to look at their submission guidelines and find out. You're going to have to really, really vet out your agent that you really want. Now there's probably hundreds and hundreds of agents that want to rep YA novels, and if you have a YA novel that you're looking to query, then yeah, that's for another video. But there's just a very small amount of agents out there that care enough to represent us author-only picture book writers. There are some great resources that have interviews on picture book agents, and one is PBChat's blog. It's Justin Cologne's blog, and I will list that link below. He has a lot of resources on his website, and he also has a lot of agent interviews, and so you could look through those. There's a blog that I really rely on. It's called Literary Rambles, and it is an exhaustive interview resource of every agent out there if they're reputable. You can go into Literary Rambles and you can hit into the search. There's like a button that you can press for picture book agents, and then you are going to have to sift through that yourself. Go to each website and look and see if they actually will take on picture book writers. Another resource is rateyourstory.com, and if you subscribe to their newsletter, then they have a great newsletter that always has some up-to-date info about agents, and they highlight submission info, and so that especially if there's a new agent out there, they usually highlight that, so I would definitely get on their newsletter. Another really great tip is to join query tracker for only $25. And no, I am not sponsored, but I use it every time I'm doing a search for agents. It is well worth your money to subscribe to them. 25 bucks a year, that's chicken feed in my opinion. If you're doing this professionally, you can take it off on your taxes. If you get paid for work at all, let's say you are writing for magazines and you just haven't gotten that book yet, then you definitely are a paid professional and you can write that off on your taxes every year. Query Tracker has every agent in the book listed and along with their websites, and is such an easy way to just put in your search info and out will pop the agents that represent that. Unfortunately, they don't vet at all, so some pretty unscrupulous agents are on there, so you have to do your double darn duty to figure out what agents are good and what agents might not be good. My fourth tip would be, why don't you bypass agents right now? I mean, last book I sold didn't need an agent. In fact, the first 4 books I sold without an agent. So you don't need an agent to get published. Unfortunately, more and more publishers are not allowing you to submit, but there's other ways. Sometimes publishers will have windows for unsolicited manuscripts. You can also meet editors at conferences, and you can get your manuscript critiqued by an editor at conferences. That's why you should join SEBWI, go to conferences, get your work critiqued, and that way you might catch an editor's eye that way. Bottom line is, getting an agent is tough. It is much harder to get an agent than it is to sell your manuscript. And what is the main goal here? It's to sell your book, right? So the battle is real. And I'm sorry that I don't have better news for you, but you can still sell a picture book without an agent. Or there are agents out there that will take you on. There are success stories out there, and we celebrate those success stories all the time. I've had one of my mentees almost immediately out the gate after our mentorship program that he had gone through with me, he got an agent. So there was a literary agency out there that was picture book only, and they did both author only and author illustrators. But I don't think that agency exists anymore, and so it's still hard, guys. It's still hard. The best thing I can tell you to do is to make connections and to follow your favorite agents, find out who those agents are, do your homework, and write the best book that you can so that nobody will say no. Well, okay, so now it's the homework section. Yay! All right, my advice to you is for you to get on Query Tracker or Literary Rambles. Get a spreadsheet, work it out. I want you to get your top 10 agents that would be your dream agents. All right, and once you have your 10 dream agents, I want you to get 10 more. So I would like for you to have 20 agents. So that's a lot of work. That's going to take you a long time to research agents. Okay, and so if you have this 20 agents, that should be pretty good. I want you to keep yourself up to date, but I don't want you to query them right out the gate. You have to make sure that you have a knock it out of the ballpark picture book, and not just one picture book, but you have to have at least 3 slam dunk picture books to entice an agent to want to represent you. Okay? They have to think, yes, this will sell. And not just the one picture book, but all of your picture books will sell. All right? Okay, so that's it for today. On Friday, I'm going to be continuing the viewer's choice topics. And if you have enjoyed these videos at all, please support me by subscribing or give this a like. Tell others about Picture Book University, because that's the only way to support this channel is to tell other people for it to grow. Comment down below if you have a topic that you'd like to see me do, and I'll see you on Friday. Bye.